Hello and welcome to Devin's Workshop. Give me 1 second. Okay. Today we will be working on a mason jar LED candle I received from Cedar Grove. An ItsyBitsy adapter. This is a pretty cool little adapter board. Basically turns it into like a feather-esque kind of thing. So here's the ItsyBitsy. And we're gonna solder that right onto there. So the first thing we need to do is solder. And I will be recording this whole project start to finish. I have no idea how long it's going to take. It could take 15 minutes, it could take a half an hour, it could take 2 hours. So we'll just go until I figure out how to do it. This is the first time I've ever actually worked with an ItsyBitsy. So we'll see how this goes. First thing, I have to solder headers. The ItsyBitsy breadboard adapter from Cedar Grove, has female headers. So I need a way to plug into that. So the easiest way is just to add male headers onto the board, or I could use stacking headers. But since there's already additional GPI breakouts on each side, it's kind of unnecessary because you could always add more female headers as breakouts. So I'll just go with the male headers. And this is an Adafruit ItsyBitsy NRF 52840. So this has Bluetooth and should hopefully work with Adafruit's Bluefruit Connect app, so that I can change the candle color with a phone. So here is a mason jar that I've had for about 10 years, and the problem is I haven't used this in a very long time, because when you lift this up, the bottom falls out. They used epoxy around they cut the glass and used epoxy around it, and the epoxy just hardened to the point where it doesn't hold anymore. So I will be reattaching this with super glue. And here's the bottom. Normally the base is screwed onto here. I've already removed the screws. So this is your basic candle that you get from Amazon, and I will be dissecting it and showing what's inside of it, because it doesn't work. Even with new batteries, it doesn't work. So this has long outlived its usefulness, and so I'll use this as just a platform for creating an RGB candle. And originally this was only a warm white / yellow LED candle. So one color. So it's got the base, pops off, 3 AAA batteries, which I will probably be gutting this entire thing. It does come with an on-off switch, so that's nice and handy. But with this, in order to recharge it, we're going to need to figure out a way to get USB out. So that's going to be one of the design hurdles to overcome. And this was... I can't see where I've already marred it up. So this whole section was already epoxied in as well. So there was epoxy all around the outside here. And that's basically all it is. So you've got this little candle thing, and then this LED just goes right up into the middle there. And that's all it is. There's no board, there's no intelligence in it, it's just straight to the LED. 2 pins, on-off switch, off. You can see the ground is floating. There's nothing attached to the negative of the switch. So when the switch is flipped, these 2 contacts make contact. This side goes off to the battery. This side goes off. The other side of the switch goes off to the LED, which then goes off to the other side of the battery. And basically that's how that circuit is. So here's an example of the epoxy. And this stuff is hard. I don't know if this was originally super glue, but this stuff is rock hard. So I'm pretty sure it's some kind of epoxy or resin. So that's gonna have to come off. Let's see if I can bring you in a little closer here. So I'll just take my snips and start trying to, yeah, see how brittle that is. It almost looks like it was super glue at one time, but it then turns brittle. I don't know if super glue turns brittle over time. And on the other end here, you can see that it went out to 2 little wires, and I'm guessing those were some kind of test wires. I have no idea why they would go into there. Like, I'm about to figure that part out, because that looks like a whole bunch of ridiculousness. And I'm betting it's just some kind of plug connector, so they would solder these to the plugs and then plug that connector in and then snip off. Like, why would you snip? Like, how are they connected? Yeah, they're not even connected. And I can see there's a tiny little wire coming off inside of here. You can barely see it. There's a tiny little wire coming off of there. That is the weirdest thing. Ugh. Let me turn on autofocus. Yeah, of course autofocus doesn't work for jack on this camera. That's why I turned autofocus off. So they're connected to pins, and it looks like they bent the pins out, but the pins don't go inside. Like that, they just end right there. Why? Like, it has to be for some kind of test point. I don't understand that at all. So get all this epoxy / possible hot glue out of the way. And I realize I'm live streaming, but I'm not looking at chat. So if anybody ever like actually pops into chat and says hello, then I won't see it. I don't have enough windows open for that because I'm using this as basically a microscope. So my main monitor is this enlarged. So I'm not going to need the LED. I will need the switch. So middle is negative. Guess I'll just start hacking away at this. It's got a resistor in there at least, but you don't really need the resistor. It's just... Do I want to keep those? I really don't think I need them. Yeah, I'm not using batteries, so I have absolutely no idea what that plug is about, so that's got to go. All of that can go. I'm not even going to reuse the LED, so that can go. All of that can go. Not going to reuse the resistor, that can go. So hopefully if these have solder on them. Well, I'm not going to, I'll just snip those right off because I'm not going to reuse those. Just need to make sure to snip it below where there's solder so they can fall through. Usually these things will just pull right out. I'm going to need a pick tool. Wow, those are in there tight. Might need to snip those off more. Snip those off as flush as I can. See, this one I think is going to prevent it from being used that way. Just kind of push them down in there. Ping, ping. Don't need those. That one is in there. It's because this thing is folded in there. Aha. Ping. That does not want to come out, so hitting some issues with that one. all that base material out of the way. Don't need it. What I am interested in is keeping this base, because I can fit a flat LiPo battery. I can also kind of fit that in there slim. So I think that's going to be my first avenue of attack, is to try and keep that, and then snip all these out. Wow, that's tough plastic. Sewing needle nose pliers, very small, very handy for small projects. Yep, so we're just gonna rip out as much as we can. Angle cutters. Try and cut most of this as flush as we can. That side's not connected, but this side is connected over here. Ah, made a hole, but that's okay. Relatively smooth. I can't really get this flush because it's in a recessed box. And the reason I'm trying to make this flush is because a LiPo pack will sit here, and you don't want like any tiny little spikes pressing into that LiPo pack. At least it's a possibility that I might want to put a LiPo pack in here. So design is still up in the air. I'm literally just making this stuff up as I go along. We'll see how, projects kind of take shape themselves in a way. Okay, so now we have a gutted box. I don't know if I have a battery to demonstrate with. Here's my box of batteries. I have plenty to choose from. That's a brand new one. Still in the plastic. That's a 2000. It's not going to fit. This one might fit, but I think yeah, I don't have an end on this one. Nope, that won't fit either. Darn, I'm gonna need a small one. This one might work. What's this? 500 milliamps. Adafruit, 500 milliamps. Perfect. Look at that. The problem is, by the time I add the board and then the Pico, or not the Pico, the ItsyBitsy, that's all going to be like way too tall. So I'm going to need to figure out some kind of different mounting solution. I would like the battery in here for easy recharging, or if I need to swap out the battery. Maybe put this stuff on top of here inside the candle. Maybe offset so that I can use these mounting holes. Maybe I could use this plug as a way to plug through the battery. Will that fit? That might actually fit. Very close to the same profile. This used to be a battery. Female housing for the battery. So why are the wires sticking out? I don't understand that. I think I'm going to try and save that. I might be able to use that. But I don't know if I want to cut these pins. Because I might be able to use these pins. Ah, look at that. Oh, it's a male and a female socket. That might be useful. How would I do that? Go from here to here, just to recharge. See, but recharging is done via USB. Once I plug this in, you would normally recharge the battery via the USB plug. Can I make this slimmer? Oh, it's got a stem plug on there too. That's so cool. Yeah, I might just try and plop it down like that. And then use 2 of these mounting screws. That's going to be close. I think that would work. And then have the battery go through here. The recharging is actually done via USB, so I might want to put the battery up here with the board. Oh, I can't because the board has to be attached to it. Now he said I could clip the ears off, the mounting ears, and be okay. I could probably clip off a little bit more of the actual board. That's for the I2C. Yeah, I can't do that. So the most I can clip off are the ears. Yeah, that's not going to fit in there. Unless... I don't think that'll ever fit with the cover on, though. How thick is that cover? Pretty sure that would work. That would work, no problem. Problem is you don't charge the battery itself unless you take the battery out for manual recharging. But you still want access to the USB in order to program the board. And then just melt right through the pins. Oh, the battery connector. Well, I can make a hole for the battery connector. Okay, here's a question. Will that fit? It's gonna have header pins. Okay, so that fits. Battery plus board fits. Or I could just make a cutout there. Getting the USB cable in there. I would have to cut holes right through the side. Wouldn't it be cool if I could just mount everything longitudinally in here? And then have it poke out like that? Fear is like this entire thing is going to end up glowing. So then you're going to have like this big, weird rectangle in there. It's not going to work. Everything's got to be like on the base. I know that's such a weird thing to do. Just solder right through there. First, let's solder up some header pins, which I have no shortage of header pins. Soldering iron. Okay. So here I have my sponge, which has seen better days, melting through PLA and stuff to make adjustments. Solder, spool, and then, well, I guess you can't really see it that well, and soldering iron. So this is my soldering station. Love it. It's got everything I need in there, plus that. And it's already up to temp because I keep my solder iron wicked pretty well. Usually all I have to do is clean it and I'm good to go. Yeah, you are getting in the way here. I'm gonna hit my head on you. Horrible angle. solder the first. That looks straight. Pretty straight to me. And then we can immediately test. So that adds a lot of height. Since I'm going for a slim build, I might actually cut these long headers off. Seems like a shame because I think he hand soldered this himself. I believe he told me correctly. Oh right, yeah. I was gonna try and go. Oh, I'm an idiot. I forgot to solder all the rest of the headers. Oh, God. That's funny. Well, that was too easy, of course. Soldering headers is relatively easy until you get to the ground. Because the ground plane is the size of the entire board, so you basically got to heat up the ground pin to heat up the entire board. Solder joint on the ground. Okay, all those look pretty good. Blow on that. And now we should be able to take it out without all the pins coming out with it. Okay, so I think the plan was see if I do that, I have to make sure that the battery connection overhangs so that I can plug in the battery. And I think that will require snipping off the ears. Also means I can't mount the other side unless I have some really long screws, because now it's going to be offset way inside there. Might be able to use some standoffs. Also means getting to the GPIO is going to end up being a little backwards. Yeah, I need to rethink this because I'm not sure this is going to be such a great idea. Okay, so if I do that, then this will end up being flush up against there. There's really no good way to get USB out. And yes, I do have a panel mount micro B cable, but there's no place to put it, you know? The only place I could put it would be like right there, but that's kind of where I want the battery to go. Also take up a large amount of room inside the candle, so yeah, that's not gonna work either. I mean, I could 3D print like a custom base kit, but my 3D printer is out of action at the moment. I need to swap out the nozzle and hot end. My 3D printer's down. I can't do a 3D printed solution, which I would normally do. So we're just relying on regular hackery. I don't want to lose this stemma. Okay, how big is this thing? At its tallest point would be the battery. So 19 point about 19.2, which includes the bottom row of pins. And how deep? .4 deep. So there's no way that this would, even if I cut the ears off and everything, it would still stick up by 6 millimeters. Yeah, if I just cut a hole for the whole thing and just drop this in there, and then hot glue the crap out of everything, brought the GPIO up to the LED, I could even burn in a section for the battery. Oh, the battery. And there wouldn't be any space for the battery. Jeez. And I don't want to rest the battery on top of these pins. That's universally a really bad idea. I could make this whole entire thing slim if I cut off that header. That would fit. And then strap the battery on the back. The battery is going to end up getting recharged via USB anyway. The lid wouldn't close then. No matter how close I can get it to the edge, I can't get the USB port directly up against the outside to plug in from the outside, because all of this would end up sticking out too. So I want the battery here. No, that doesn't fit sideways. I need a smaller panel mount solution. This is not an easy problem. Even if this was slimmer, it wouldn't make it any easier. I could do the pins like this, but then USB. And even if I could melt through here, make a cutout to access USB from in here, real tight maybe it is better just to slap this in here, use the battery, and then take the battery out when you want to recharge the battery. But I still have to program it. I keep running the same problem. I'm running in circles here. If this was a spatial IQ test, I would fail it. It's like something out of Idiocracy. Part to fit. Square peg in a round hole. It literally, I mean, I got rectangular pegs trying to fit in a rectangular hole within a round hole. I don't need access to the battery. I need access to USB. So I can just like stuff this in here somehow. Use Kapton tape across the pins. Maybe some kind of padding? Yeah, let's do that. There's no way to mount it then. If I go straight through. Oh, actually there might be a way. If I mount it this side. So this has to be shifted on this side so that I can try to access. What is the slimmest USB cable that I have? Micro B? Micro B magnetic plug. Yeah, that is huge. Actually, micro or magnetic. As long as I go through, as long as I can go through the side with the magnet, it'll latch on. See, another thing is that the Wi-Fi chip will be pointing down. So I wouldn't get all the benefits of Wi-Fi being up at the top. And if I do it this way, there's going to be a hole right in the middle of the candle. And I can't do it that way. I don't know, maybe just using a gemma would be the easier solution here. Because the gemma would just, that would just work. might end up scrapping the ItsyBitsy for this project. I'm just running into too many hurdles. Oh, but the Gemma doesn't have a place for a battery. The smallest thing that has a place for a battery is the Cutie Pie. And that's with the BFF shim. And I would still run into the same problem because it's going to be thicker than the battery tray. Maybe not. But it's not going to have Bluetooth. This has got Bluetooth that I want. Oh. I got 99 problems. Spaces, all of them. So I guess I could kind of cheat and get away with it if I don't use that. If that isn't a consideration, then this lip gives me a little bit more space on top. How much more space? Let's find out. Seven. Gives me 7 more millimeters. So if I come at it from the bottom, and this is, see, but I can't, it's going to be at the same height here. I could cut part of that. And just come in through there. I could do that. That would probably solve it. Now, just to cut accurately, figure out where I want my cuts to be. Back ears. I don't need the front ears. Oh, yeah, just snap the ears off. Are you kidding me? There's copper in the ears, isn't there? It's not letting me just snap that off. Just snap off the ears. No, it's not working like that. Doesn't look like it. Where those trace go. There's a via there. Okay, well that's just FR4. I feel like I need a hacksaw for this. cutting into the copper there. I can feel it. It should not pose a problem. Yeah, see, I've already cut into the copper there. You can see where the copper ends here. Sorry, Cedar Grove, I am hacking the crap out of your board. Oh man, messing it up. Well, hopefully there's no traces there. There shouldn't be. Usually there's no traces like right next to the outside of a board. Okay. So we can get that pretty close to the outside. Or should I offset? Probably not a bad idea. Just save as much room in here as I can for something else. Don't mess with those. I can mess with that. Still want to leave a sidewall. Okay. So, what's the best way to cut through plastic? Soldering iron. Now you know why my sponge looks like this. That's why I do this. It's simple, cleans up easy. And I'm not going for perfect lines. It's close, but not quite. USB and the battery, although the battery is laying on top of the chip there. USB will cut through. Right, but I want it out. That wrong, but whatever. battery? No. I think I'm going to call that just enough for today. I think this stream's been long enough. So that's candle hacking part 1. And I will be back maybe later today or tomorrow. Who knows? I will finish this up because this thing is making a desk with my workbench. Yeah, so an interesting start to hacking an ItsyBitsy with a Cedar Grove adapter board into a candle base. And we will get into GPIO and battery and all of that and get this candle lit later. Thank you for hanging out.